There are 6 cars sitting on used car lots right now for under $12,000 that make people turn their heads and assume you spent $50,000 or more. Not because they are flashy, not because they are loud, because they were built to look expensive, and the used car market has not figured out that you can steal them for the price of a base Toyota Corolla. I have been in the car business for over 2 decades. I have watched luxury vehicles depreciate off a cliff while their prestige stayed perfectly intact. And I have watched smart buyers quietly scoop them up, pull into valet lines, and get treated like royalty while the guy who spent $28,000 on a new Honda Accord parks next to them and gets ignored. This is not about being fake. This is not about pretending you are something you are not. This is about understanding how car depreciation actually works and using it to your advantage. Because here is the truth. Nobody at a dealership will tell you. A 6-year-old luxury car looks exactly the same from the outside as it did when it was new. The badge did not depreciate. The looks did not depreciate. Only the price did. Now, I will be straight with you. Some of these cars come with real ownership costs that you need to understand before you buy. I am not going to pretend a cheap Jaguar is the same as a cheap Toyota, but I am going to tell you exactly which ones are manageable and which ones are the real hidden gems. And car number 1 on this list is the one that genuinely shocked me the first time I ran the numbers on it. Let's get into it. Number 6, Lincoln MKZ from 2013 to 2016. If I park a 2015 Lincoln MKZ next to a 2015 Toyota Camry and ask 10 strangers which one costs more, 9 of them will say the Lincoln, and they would be right when it was new. The MKZ started at $35,000 when it was new. Today you can find clean examples with under 90,000 miles for $8,000 to $11,000. That's an SUV-sized depreciation crater on a car that still looks like it belongs in a hotel valet line. Lincoln spent serious money on the exterior design of this generation MKZ. The retractable chrome grille, the wraparound LED lighting, and the fastback roofline give it a premium presence. It's genuinely one of the better-looking sedans Ford Motor Company has ever produced. Under the hood, it shares its platform and a 2-liter EcoBoost engine with the Ford Fusion, which means parts are cheap, and every mechanic within 50 miles knows how to work on it. I had a customer last year, a real estate agent in her early 30s, who wanted a car that would impress clients during site visits without bleeding her dry. She was looking at used Lexus ES models. I showed her a 2015 MKZ with 74,000 miles for $9,400. She hesitated. 2 weeks later, she texted me a photo from outside a client's $1.2 million listing. Her words were, "3 people asked me what I drove today. What to watch out for? The 2-liter EcoBoost can develop carbon buildup over time. Budget $300 to $500 for a walnut blasting service if you are buying one with over 80,000 miles. The dual-clutch transmission on some trim levels is smooth but sensitive to maintenance. Stick with examples that have full service records. Avoid the panoramic sunroof if you can. The motors are a known weak point, but the base mechanicals are solid, serviceable, and cheap to fix." Number 5, Cadillac ATS from 2013 to 2018. If you want to understand how crazy the luxury depreciation market is, consider this. The Cadillac ATS was GM's direct answer to the BMW 3 Series. It was engineered on a rear-wheel drive platform specifically designed to compete with Munich's best. Car and Driver tested it against the 3 Series when it launched, and the ATS won. Road and Track loved it. Every automotive journalist who drove it said the same thing. This car finally proved America could build a genuine sport sedan. Today, a 2015 Cadillac ATS with the 2-liter turbocharged engine and under 80,000 miles will run you $9,000 to $12,000. The equivalent BMW 328 AMD from the same year will be $14,000 to $18,000. You are getting a comparable German fighter dynamics for the price of a used Kia. The interior is where this car earns its millionaire image status. Real stitched leather, Q infotainment with a full glass interface, real aluminum trim. The kind of materials that made luxury car shoppers in 2013 say, "This is it." From the outside, the Cadillac art and science design language has aged remarkably well. Angular, aggressive, unmistakably premium. Now here is my honest mechanic take. The Q infotainment system in early models was laggy and problematic. By 2016, they had addressed most of it. Target the 2016 to 2018 model years if you can. The 2-liter turbocharged engine is solid when properly maintained, oil changes on schedule, no exceptions, and the rear-wheel drive platform means tire wear is manageable if you are not hooning it. Annual maintenance averages around $600 to $750, which is higher than a Camry but lower than a BMW. For something that draws this much attention in a parking lot that is a trade, I would take. Number 4. Infiniti Q50 from 2014 to 2017. Let me tell you something about the Infiniti Q50 that the used car market completely ignores. This car shares its 3.7-liter V6 engine, the VQ37HR, with the Nissan 370Z sports car. That is not a family sedan motor shoehorned into a luxury package. That is a proper performance engine, naturally aspirated, no turbos to fail, chain-driven, built to run for 250,000 miles when you maintain it. And yet a 2015 Q50 Sport with the V6 and under 85,000 miles costs $9,500 to $12,000. A competing BMW 5 Series from the same year with similar mileage runs $15,000 to $20,000. The Q50 looks like it should cost more than the BMW. The sculpted hood, the dramatic LED daytime running lights, the low, aggressive stance. It does not look like a $10,000 car. It looks like a $38,000 car because it was. I have had 2 Q50s come through my shop in the last 18 months with over 180,000 miles each. Both were still running the original transmissions. Both came in for routine service. The VQ engine family is one of the most proven V6 platforms in modern automotive history. Ward's Auto named the VQ engine to their list of 10 best engines for 16 consecutive years. That is not a coincidence. That is consistency. What to check? The 7-speed automatic can be finicky if the transmission fluid has never been changed, and many owners skip this service. Pull the dipstick and look. Dark, burnt-smelling fluid means negotiate $500 off and do a fresh flush immediately. Also check the steering feel. Some early Q50s had issues with the direct adaptive steering system that felt numb and disconnected. Most owners either disabled the system or had it addressed under warranty. Take it for a proper test drive and make sure the steering communicates the road the way it should. For a car that genuinely looks this good and has this kind of proven mechanical backbone, The Q50 might be the single best image for dollar purchase on this entire list. Number 3, Genesis G80, from 2015 to 2020. Here's where it gets interesting. The Genesis G80 is a car most people look at and genuinely cannot identify the brand. They see the sweeping chrome grille, the elegant proportions, the winged badge, and they think, is that a Bentley, an Aston Martin, something European? No, it is a Korean luxury sedan built by Hyundai, engineered to compete with the Mercedes E-Class and BMW 5 Series. And you can buy one for $10,000 to $13,000, depending on trim. When Genesis launched as a standalone luxury brand in 2017, they separated from Hyundai specifically because the product was too good to be associated with economy car pricing. Genesis dealerships feel like Apple stores. The ownership experience includes complimentary pickup and delivery service for maintenance. The cars were reviewed alongside S-Class rivals. Car and Driver put the Genesis G80 on their 10 best vehicles list. The 3.8-liter V6 Lambda engine in these cars is the same engine family I mentioned earlier in the Kia Sorento discussion, naturally aspirated, timing chain, proven over millions of miles across multiple platforms. The 8-speed automatic is silky smooth and durable. And the interior quality in these cars is, and I am not exaggerating, legitimately better than some entry-level German luxury vehicles at twice the price. The leather is softer, the noise insulation is class-leading, the seats have more adjustments than you will ever use. The unknown brand is precisely why these cars depreciate so aggressively. People who want status want a badge the neighbors recognize. That badge, ignorance, is your gain. I have had customers park a Genesis G80 next to a Mercedes E-Class at functions and have people walk up and ask about the Genesis because it genuinely holds its own in the looks department. Inspection notes: check the panoramic sunroof seals. Early units occasionally had leaks. Verify the turbo 3.3-liter models have had their oil change intervals kept to schedule, as the twin-turbo engine is more maintenance-sensitive than the naturally aspirated V6. Stick with V6 non-turbo examples for the lowest long-term cost of ownership. Reliability scores from Consumer Reports and J.D. Power consistently rank the G80 at or above average for its class. This is the car you buy when you want every single person at your next work event to ask what you drive. Number 2, BMW 5 Series F10 from 2011 to 2016. Before the comments fill up, yes, I know what BMWs cost to maintain, and I am going to give you the honest breakdown. Because here is the thing, if you buy the right generation of BMW 5 Series at the right price with the right engine, the ownership math is more manageable than people claim, and no car on this list looks more expensive at a glance. The F10 Generation 5 Series is one of the most authoritative sedans ever built. Long hood, short rear deck, muscular shoulders, double kidney grille. There is not a single angle from which this car looks like anything other than serious money. Park it at a restaurant and walk away, and people will be taking pictures of it. Not because it is rare, but because even 10 years later, it still commands the road like the day it left Munich. A 2013 BMW 528e with the turbocharged 4-cylinder N20 engine and under 90,000 miles, $9,000 to $12,000. A 2014 535i with the 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 N55 engine, $11,000 to $14,000. These are cars that were $55,000 to $65,000 brand new. Here is my honest mechanic math on the 5 Series. The N24 cylinder had a documented timing chain tensioner issue in early production, from 2012 to early 2013. If you are buying one of these, that tensioner should already be replaced. Budget $1,200 if it has not been. The N55 inline 6 in the 535i is significantly more robust. This engine won multiple International Engine of the Year awards, and when properly maintained, it is genuinely impressive machinery. Annual maintenance on an F10 5 Series averages $850 to $1,100 per year at an independent shop, not a dealer, not $3,000. Yes, it is higher than a Toyota, but you are driving something that makes everyone who sees it assume you make $200,000 a year. That premium, in my estimation, is worth the difference. What to look for? Full service history is non-negotiable on a used BMW, oil changes on time, coolant changes, and brake fluid services. Walk away from anything with a patchy service record. Find one that was maintained at an independent BMW specialist, and you will have a car that rewards you daily with one of the best driving experiences under $15,000 on the market. Full stop. Number 1, Lexus LS430 from 2001 to 2006. This is the one. This is the car I have been recommending quietly to every smart buyer I know for the last decade. Almost every time I bring it up, people look at me like I have lost my mind. Until they buy one, then they never stop thanking me. The Lexus LS430 was Toyota's flagship, the car built to beat the Mercedes S-Class at its own game. When it launched, Consumer Reports called it the most reliable luxury car ever tested. Edmunds called it automotive perfection. This was a $60,000 sedan in the early 2000s. That is over $95,000 in today's money. A proper S-Class rival with Toyota engineering underneath. Today, a clean 2004 or 2005 Lexus LS430 with 120,000 miles will cost you from $7,500 to $11,000, sometimes less. I bought one for a customer's daughter last spring for $8,200 with 108,000 miles. Immaculate, not a rattle, not a creak. We inspected every inch of that car and found a car that had been maintained by its original owner with religious precision. That girl now drives to her university, pulling up in a full-size flagship luxury sedan while her classmates are driving 10-year-old Corollas. Here is why the LS430 works, where the BMW and the Mercedes at this price point can be a gamble. The 4.3-liter 3U ZFEV8 under the hood is one of the most over-engineered, bullet-resistant engines Toyota has ever produced, naturally aspirated. Timing belt, yes belt, not chain, should be replaced every 90,000 miles for about $900 at an independent shop. Once that is done, this engine will run to 300,000 miles without drama. I have seen it happen. I have worked on them with my own hands. The transmission is a silky 6-speed automatic that has virtually no known failure rate when maintained. The suspension is air-assisted on higher trims. Check the air suspension compressor, as it is the one system that wears on older examples. Budget $600 to $800 for a compressor if needed. After that, there is nothing expensive left to go wrong. The interior of this car should be illegal to own at this price point. Quilted leather, real wood trim, heated and cooled front seats, a Mark Levinson sound system that makes modern audio equipment sound cheap, rear seat entertainment, power rear sunshade, features that some new $40,000 cars still do not offer. This car was engineered to make its occupants feel like royalty in 2003. That engineering has not aged. When you are shopping for one, here is my exact checklist. First, verify the timing belt history. If there is no record, budget $900 and do it immediately. Second, check the air suspension on LX-style trims by letting the car sit overnight and checking if it sags. A sagging corner means a failing strut or compressor. Third, check the navigation DVD. These cars use an early DVD-based navigation system, outdated but functional. The hardware itself is rarely an issue, but some owners removed or broke screens. Make sure everything illuminates correctly. Fourth, and this is critical, smell the interior. Luxury cars that sat in garages for years develop musty odors that are hard to eliminate. You want something that smells clean or lightly like leather. If it smells like a basement, walk away. Here is the final truth about the LS430. No car under $12,000 creates a more dramatic impression on other people. This is a full-size flagship luxury sedan from Toyota's prestige brand. The proportions are commanding. The stance is authoritative. The badge says Lexus. And the moment you open the door and someone sees that interior, the game is over. They assume wealth. They assume success. They assume you are someone who made it. Because that is who bought this car when it was new. Depreciation robbed this car of its market value. You get to take advantage of that. Final thoughts. So there you have it. 6 cars that look like serious money without requiring serious money. The Lincoln MKZ gives you understated American luxury for under $10,000. The Cadillac ATS gives you rear-wheel drive sports sedan dynamics and a sharp interior for around $10,000. The Infiniti Q50 V6 gives you a proven sports engine beneath striking Japanese luxury design. The Genesis G80 gives you S-Class interior quality with an anonymous badge that makes people genuinely curious. The BMW 5 Series F10 gives you the gold standard of luxury sedan presence when maintained correctly. And the Lexus LS430 gives you everything: the brand, the build quality, the presence, the reliability, all for the price of a used economy car. These 6 vehicles prove one thing. The used car market does not price image. It prices brands, age, and mileage. The appearance of wealth is baked in permanently, and right now it is on sale. Next time you are at a used car lot and a salesperson tries to convince you that a 3-year-old crossover is the only sensible buy, you will know better. If this gave you a real edge, hit subscribe. I have more videos coming on exactly how to shop the used luxury market the way smart buyers have been doing quietly for years. That knowledge is sitting right here. Do not overpay. Drive something worth noticing. I will see you in the next one.